Hello and welcome to our next video in our kata application series, how to use Shotokan Karate for the streets. So my name is Sean Wraith Arthur. I'm 5th Dan in Shotokan Karate, member of the JKS. I've also done security for 21 years. I had my own security company and worked some of the roughest nightclubs in London. So I like to think I have a better understanding of what is more realistic when it comes to karate. So today we're going to cover the second Heian kata, Heian Nidan. So I've got one of my students, Peter, here. So he's going to perform the kata and then we're going to go through it afterwards to show you how the application would work. Okay, so from there, Peter, about us. Heian Nidan.
Heian Nidan.
And there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Press strike 1, kiai.
Hey.
Knife hand block 2, 3, 9, 4, 5. Left leg forward, right inside block 6, 7, 8. And there, block 9, 10, 1. Double block forward 2. Turn, get done by 3. Rising block 4. Get done by 5. Rising block 6, kiai.
Hey.
And yummy, fall back. And bow, us. So Heian Nidan used to be called Pinan Shodan many years ago, and of course since they switched the names around. So it used to be the first kata they actually used to teach before. For me, it's one of my favourite katas to actually start learning to fight. So the first technique here would be what you deem caging. So if I'm facing Peter, it's about learning to get your hands up. So if Peter throws like a boxing hook punch here, it's getting my hand up. Throws another one, I can get my hand up. Keep throwing punches, I can just get my hands up, blocking. So in the kata, it's formalised to this position. You can also use it, so if somebody was to grab you, so if Peter was to grab my top and goes hit me, this is a brilliant position for me because I know he's too close for him to kick me. He's not going to be able to hit me with this hand, so the only two things he can do is either try and headbutt me or most likely punch me with this hand. So as the punch comes, I get my hand up. In the kata, you squeeze in here. I can then use this against his wrist, this one against the elbow, and push down. And then expose the back of his head to hit. So in the kata, it's 1, 2, 3. You can also use it from here. If somebody was to grab both hands, okay, I can then use this one to pull down, and then use this as an uppercut as well. Arm control to here, and strike in. So either to the neck or underneath. So underneath the armpit, the rib, you've got quite a lot of nerve endings there, so you can hit through. When you do kata, and what a lot of people tend to forget is it's a sequence of movements which have been put together, but they don't have to be followed in that specific sequence. Almost like if you look at the alphabet, you learn it A, B, C, D, so on. You then jumble up the alphabet to create words. Kata is the same thing. You learn it in a certain sequence, but you can jumble it up. With all katas, what you do on one side, you will always do on the other. You've got this half position. So in the kata, so the punches come, I've blocked, hit him, controlled here. I can then use it against the elbow here. So depending on which side, I can use it this side, or if I've got the other arm, I can use it this side. So once again, I've got him in a locked position. In the kata, it's here, my elbow versus his. In the original form of the kata, there was no side snap kick. It was a maigeri here, bang. You can use it as a side snap kick or a thrust kick down to the knee, and a back fist at the same time. This is okay. Or you've got the more traditional, somebody's punching from there, block, hit, and knife hand block. So this is also plausible. You've got a lot of neck manipulation in the katas as well. So imagine we're in a grapple here, and I've hit him. I can then use this half position for the knife hand block against neck, that way, to make sure it snaps the neck. So it's quite a nasty technique. In the original Okinawan forms, you will see a lot of neck manipulation. So wherever the head goes, the neck will always go, and the rest of the body will follow. So there's lots of strikes to things like the throat, Adam's apple, in the corners here, behind the here, eyes. So quite devastating in a self-defense scenario. Here we've got the knife hand blocks. So with the knife hand blocks, you can use it as a standard block. So somebody punches here, and then grab to strike to the neck. You've also got the half position. So as the punch comes through, this one blocking across, that one spearing here, this one as an arm control here. This is how you could use it with the knife hand blocks. You've got the spear hand and strike. So the traditional spear hand is somebody punches your body, blocking here, and then stepping forward and striking. Stand up, Peter. He's quite a solid guy. My fingers versus his, that won't do a thing. So you then go for softer targets, things like the throat, like I said, eyes, to strike. But how is this, as you punch, how is this a realistic distance? You don't ever fight from there, so how could you use it? So once again, as the punch comes, you've got the knife hand block. My arm getting here is a lock, and then going through this way. In the kata, it's still the same position. So I'll demonstrate again. So 1, underneath 2. You can see my arm has to go behind his elbow. That creates leverage, and then striking 3. With the turns, so once I've done that strike, I've got that same half position. So it's more neck manipulation. So if we're here, I'm then coming round to block knife hand block in the kata. So it's once again quite nasty in terms of damage you can do to somebody's neck. Going back to where we've come from, so you've got your opponent here, you've got that inside block. So as the punch comes, you're moving on the outside of the person. In the kata's very linear, but in reality, you'll be over here. In the kata, you've got the maigiri. You can use this for a moshigiri and striking in. There's nothing in the textbook that says you can't change a technique slightly to apply to the application. Okay, so that one's coming across. You've got the kick punch. There, 1, 2, 3. If they punch the other hand, moving side. Again, from there, 1, 2. Mortal-ki, I covered in the last video. So with mortal-ki, so if you change, either leg. Okay, so this leg's coming behind. I need to make sure I get my centre of gravity lower than his. Here. So if my hips are high, if I try and push Peter over, try and stop me, we're in a bit of a battle. If I get my centre of gravity low, he goes down. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, very easily, without any effort. It's just pure body dynamics. Next one, we've got the Gidambai turn. So, change leg. So imagine we're in this scenario. I can then take this down as a turn, pulling him down as well. So you've got another hidden throwing technique in there. So demonstrate again, change leg. So I've gone in, my leg's gone behind his, my left leg then turns, this one pulling down. I can use it against his neck to pull. You've got the open-handed half position. A lot of people tend to forget this. An open-handed block this way is probably stronger than a closed-handed one and a lot faster. So if we're here, the punch is coming, block, strike, underneath. Then from behind, I can then pull him down as well. So this Gidambai over here doesn't have to be against a different opponent. And this is what a lot of people, when they do kata application, they say, if you're going one way, you've got one opponent. If you're going another way, you've got another opponent, which is not always correct. So from here, it's the same opponent. From there, 1, 2, 3, pulling down, and then finishing off. So hopefully that's given you a bit of an idea of how you can use Heian Nidan in a more realistic application. If you've got any questions, hit subscribe, ask the questions, we're happy to answer. All right, us.